Welcome to the Lila Life Show. I'm your host, Linda Andrews, and Happy New Year. I'm so excited to be with you in 2024 and continuing on this journey where business meets well-being. So for today's episode, I want to talk to you a little bit about what I'm most excited for in the year ahead, hoping that you can take some of these insights and implement them into your life and business. One of my biggest wins of 2023 was being able to harmonize with the seasons. You have heard me talk about the equinoxes and the solstices, and right around the 20th, the 21st, each March, June, September, and December is a really nice way to harmonize with the natural shifts that are going on, whether you live in the northern or southern hemisphere, and to be able to sync up a 12 and 13-week cycle with that. We hear a lot about 40-day challenges, 90-day work sprints, 6-week work sprints. If you want to do this as 2 6-week work sprints over those 90 days, if you want to do that as 2 40-day challenges, you have a little bit of extra leeway there. There's just a way to really leverage those natural seasonal shifts and whatever you're implementing in your life and business. So for instance, if you're an entrepreneur working, let's say you have one major task that you want to focus on each day that you're working 6 days on, 1 day off, right? You have 6 times 12. That's a lot of opportunity to be able to take action every day and still have an off day. So how come one of us isn't taking our time to take that action 6 out of the 7 days a week over the course of those 12 weeks? Why isn't that happening? Oftentimes there can be imposter syndrome, limiting beliefs, self-sabotage that are coming up during those times. So I like using these seasons and these cycles because it's the natural way to commit to, okay, I have 12 weeks, I have 13 weeks, I'm going to do 2 6-week work sprints. This is what I'm focused on, and holding yourself accountable to those actions. So say it's a 6-week work sprint and you have the 6 days, it's 36 action items, or over the course of the 90 days, it'd be 72. If you have personal habits that you're shifting, also saying, okay, for the next quarter, I'm going to try this. If that feels like too much, half a quarter is around that 6-week mark, but it's for you tuning into that natural feedback loop, what's working, what's not, making those changes and being consistent and building up over that. What's been really fun personally for me is I've been finding ways that I could just stack, okay, I'm naturally doing this and I also do this. A simple example on the well-being side is I'm brushing my teeth and then I'm dry brushing for lymphatic expression, right? I'm supporting my lymph, my well-being, getting the body going, and I'm brushing my teeth. And now the day started and now I'm having my water. It's just stacking. So it's just that seamless, that quick. I want to pivot from harmonizing with the seasons and talk about being able to do that stacking and then start to see the results. Oh, this is what it's like when I do this every single day. Oh, when I walk every day, I feel this much better. And now I've been walking every day for years, and now I'm starting to see those gains. There's something really powerful in looking back at, oh man, before I was walking, I used to feel really moody and right, I'm not getting fresh air. Now I walk every day, and seeing those benefits and understanding that these small shifts really do pay off over time. So being able to look back, track that progress in the protocol that I use with founders that I work with, we're doing this on a quarterly basis, and being able to make those commitments and have that accountability. It's not about getting it perfect, but it's about doing it. And there's so many things that we know, oh, if I did this or this or this, everything would feel different. If I read every day for 20 minutes, if I gave myself time to free write every day for 20 minutes, your intuition, your soul, your yearning, there's a natural yearning that is giving you guidance. Are you listening to it? And so making that time to be able to listen to that, I think, is really powerful. I want to just touch on like a random thing from the last podcast. If you listen to it, I made a comment about the Apollo Neuro being like the new marketing campaign for vibrators and how like vibrators can be bad for your sexual health. I'm not an expert on that. I just think that there's something to be said for any tech that goes beyond like normal human function and taking a look at, is that health supportive, or is there secondary impacts that may be detrimental for the long term? So it was not to be like a judgment call on that. I was debating if I wanted to touch on that or not, but I just felt like I needed to make my own correction, because after I said I was being a little funny, but then I was like, oh, I don't want anyone to take that the wrong way. Let me explain what I mean, because this is something I've thought about quite a bit. All right, we talked about seasons. We talked about being able to identify and stack those gains. Let's talk about building out trajectory for where you're going. If you have not set some goals as part of your vision, I like using the OKRs and KPIs, key performance indicators. What am I tracking on a month-to-month, week-to-week basis? And the OKRs, objective and key results. What's my objective? What key results do I need to have to get to those objectives? If it's not that frame, right? You've heard of SMART goals: specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, time defined, right? SMART goals, finding some framework, measuring yourself, keeping that accountability. And it doesn't need to be for everything. This can be picking one or two, having that be your main measures, adjusting that. I think in 2024, time is going to feel so fast. I know it's already going fast. It's going to keep feeling fast. So 6 weeks, right? A mini sprint, or 12 weeks, right? The more macro, that seasonal quarterly sprint. Time is going no matter what. And if you don't have those measures, you can see that feedback loop on an hourly basis, on a daily basis, forget even weekly or monthly. There's a way to supercharge your time, but you got to tune in and see, where are you going? Where are you? And what do you need to make as part of those shifts? The what's working, what's not, now what is just a very simplified feedback loop. So the now what, that's like, how many times do you need to learn the lesson? What's working, what's not, now what? You learn the lesson, you see what's not working, now there's new actions. Literally, you can do this on a daily basis. You can do this for each action item that you're tending to. There's just so much rich information that you can check in with yourself. Okay, well, that's not working. Is there a system? Is there a process? Where can I optimize this? Maybe there's even an opportunity to outsource, to delegate. But just doing an inventory on your life, this is such a supple time of year to do that. I highly recommend making that time. And again, having those seasons baked into your year as time for review, it's a nice rhythm to really get on. Making time for yourself to be off the screen. I'm on the screen right now. If you're watching on YouTube, what's up? If you're on the podcast, thank you. Like, subscribe, share. I appreciate you all having engagement and helping me grow the reach of the Lila Life Show and the Lila Life Collective. But having the opportunity to be dialed in to that feedback loop and understand where you're headed, and feeling the confidence grow through that. This is a beautiful gift that you can give yourself. Why don't people do it? I think awareness is a huge part of this function, and distraction. With the distraction, there is an invitation to be in phone-free time, off the screen time, right? This afternoon, I'm going to make sure that I'm on that walk, being in nature. It's helping you reprogram your whole system from the non-science perspective. This is the hypothesis, but you're going from literally locked in, the screens, the colors, versus nature, different colors, different neural processing. So taking that time, prioritizing that time away from the screens. This is huge. Incorporating more and more movement beyond your fitness, so that you are not feeling locked in because of the screen time. There can be so much greatness that comes as a function of screen time, especially if you're in business. And there's a trade-off. There's an effect of that. That feedback loop in itself, the precise outcomes of actions, and that multiplied out on the collective, this is something I really recommend to have more maybe empathy, understanding for what's going on. 2024 coming into an election year. There can be division of all types and sizes, shapes, everything. Understanding that every single person, there's 8 billion people on the planet, roughly, according to some numbers. Every single one of those people has a different model of the world. They're in a different place in their awareness. They're in a different point in their life. So when you're locked into your understanding of who you are, your values, you can look around and say, oh, that person's making that decision. I'm making this decision. They're different. We're different. Our use of time, energy, and attention and money, right? Each person's choosing how they're using their time, energy, and attention and money. It's all different. And there's more that we don't know than what we know. So using that all to feel inspired in your own life, who you are, what your mission, vision, values, and purpose are, reconnecting with that on a regular basis, tying that to if you're an employee, a business owner, regular old human, to your goals, what you want to be living out, and checking in with yourself regularly to see, where am I at? There could be unknowns, being flexible, de-risking with what is known. This is something I see so much with early stage founders. There's so much that you don't know. There's that same awareness loop, right? What needs to be important now versus later. Giving yourself grace, giving yourself that unplug time, letting yourself fill up with what you love. I did so much baking over the holidays. I went into a baking portal. It was so healing for me. It was so fun. And I was just like, man, this is really interesting. Being off the phone, getting in that flow state, and giving myself the experience of that. It's similar to going to a great soul cycle class, which is a guilty pleasure during season down here in the West Palm Beach area. It's like, oh, that's what it feels like to be in a class and sweat my butt off and work really hard. Man, my home workouts can use a little up leveling. So using these different tools in life to be these expansive points to show you within yourself what's possible. Another amazing tool for this is comparison, maybe competition. Some people experience it as jealousy. Where are emotional information coming to you through strong feelings about what your soul, what your spirit may be desiring to experience, a deep longing within yourself that's wanting to emerge? When I say Lila life as divine play, the divine play that's in each of us, it's like you are crafted, especially you. Like, you're the most amazing flavor of the ice cream flavors. You're you. And I'm me. And there might be subtle hints of some similarities in the flavors, but you better believe we're different flavors. And every single person is a different flavor. And that's beautiful. And don't let that truth, that essence of yourself get lost and diminished by the comparison, the jealousy, the competition. Let that emerge. Let yourself put your magical, beautiful standards, your special twist, the way you specifically solve problems, the way you use your gifts and skills in a certain way. We all have this. It's something that inspires me every single day, that I'm curious within myself to tap into those edges around myself. What's possible? What potential exists in each of us that is just vying to be unlocked? So I wish you so much blessings in the new years. We have some interesting conversations coming up in the show with the podcast. There's a lot of different blog posts on the Lila Life website. The membership is being updated regularly. This month, I'm rolling out monthly calls. So if you want to join our on-demand membership, where I offer integrative advisory support for emerging founders going from pre-revenue to a million ARR, there's monthly group calls, and then you can upgrade if you want that one-on-one support, and that content is being updated regularly. You're going to see some interesting partnerships that I have planned out. I mentioned some of the events that'll be occurring this year, and I just thank you so much for your continued support, from 2023 into 2024. I'm on this journey with you. I am celebrating you, and I am just so curious about what is possible in the year ahead. Many blessings to you on the journey, and Happy New Year.